Hello again from Dunleary. Lovely day again, day two of this gorgeous weather, and looking straight ahead at three significant buildings of Dunleary of its Victorian era. So you have the original terminus train station that was opened in the 1837, I believe, and then you have the administration of the town hall and this very distinctive clock. And then in the background is the surviving church spire from the fire that took place, that devastated the main section of the church. The fire took place in 1965, and unfortunately, Dunleary did have a number of fires. There was the pavilion went on fire, a magnificent Victorian entertainment structure that went on fire in the I think it was 100 years ago, but so you have the 40 foot now, cheap and cheerful booze and food with Wetherspoons. But and then you have the controversial library. I'm not a big fan of the actual architecture, but I'm a big fan of what's inside it. And then in the background there, you have the Maritime Museum. It's got the fantastic collection of maritime-related objects, and there's guided tours in there when it reopens. So we're during these difficult times, people are trying to make the most of it. And the newest addition to this area is that sculpture, sort of a boat, of a sailing boat. So because of the significance of Dunleary being a kind of a maritime town, so yeah, that's a nice addition to it. And then you have the sadness of this structure here, the old St. Michael's here. Look at this. This is so sad when you think about it. Oh, this huge amount of infrastructure, and there was a restaurant there below the harbour bicentenary sign. Oh, this huge structure is just abandoned, and it's just sad that you had boats going from Dunleary to Holyhead for what, 2 centuries, I think, and what was it, 2010 when this closed. But unfortunately, that's the reality of the times we live in. The foot passengers had dropped, as well as it was easier for people to get in. So the foot passengers had dropped, and it impacted people like me that doesn't have a car that wants to go to England, because I would have gone over to Holyhead onto Liverpool back in 2012, and yeah, I had to get to the North Wall. And this, going back when I was a kid, my mother took me to London in 1977. I was on a boat for the first time. So, well, that was from the Carlisle Pier, of course. And but private vessels are come in to berth at these two former locations. So there's a boat there. I can't make out the significance of it, or what sort of cargo it has, and maybe somebody will know. And then you have the Carlisle Pier over there. What's remains of it, but it's just I don't know what will happen to this structure. It's just so sad. It's just abandoned now for the last decade or so. So hopefully it will take a lot of investment if it's going to be converted into something. But because of this structure, what can it be converted into? I mean, personally, I'd love to see a transport museum or something. I don't know, that can be accommodated. I look at the Dunleary station across the road and the original terminus platforms, and that was re-roofed, and possibly there'll be a sort of a transport. You need something to recognise our heritage and our railway heritage as well. Speaking of railways, which I tend to talk a lot about, you would have had St. Michael's Wharf tracks here. Now officially it was taken up in 1966, and across the road you can see the blocked up wall of where the level crossing was, but I don't think it was used for decades before that. As I said in previous videos, there's quite a few private sidings or level crossings in and around Dunleary, and obviously Carlisle Pier is a big one that closed in 1980. And then with the dark construction works, there was a level crossing there at Old Dunleary Pier, that would have closed. I'm not actually too sure, but it was certainly the early 80s. So any infrastructure from kind of the Dublin South Eastern Railway times was kind of ripped up. Signalling and level crossings were either replaced or closed forever. So you would have had the other level crossing would have been at the down at the Traders Wharf siding, Irish Lights, and it's great getting feedback on this channel because people were reminiscing about that, and would have goods would have come in there right up to the 70s, and that's it for now. Hopefully I'll make it. These restrictions have been lifted in a fortnight from now, so hopefully I'll carry on going on the Harcourt Street line and make it out to Harcourt Street station itself. There's a lot to talk about there in the coming weeks, and just please subscribe to my channel and feel free to make a donation. Thank you very much.